The Saskatchewan Roughriders are 3-point home favorites over the Ottawa Redblacks at Mosaic Stadium on Saturday afternoon. The green and white got a huge monkey off their back last week when they got a first post-Labor Day win since 2021. Reichwell Armstead shredded the Stampeders along the ground and will look to do the same to Ottawa this week after the Redblacks let him go earlier this month. Jeremiah Masoli will start under center for the Redblacks with Drew Brown out due to an ankle injury. Masoli hasn't played in Regina since he suffered a fractured leg back in 2022 on an illegal hit from then Riders defensive tackle Garrett Marino. JC, can Saskatchewan make it a second win in a row?
They absolutely can. It looked like in that last game, albeit against a woeful Calgary Stampeders squad, they looked like they figured it out in a number of facets, particularly on the offensive side of the ball, getting that run game finally going with Reichwell Armstead. I think he's going to be motivated against his old team. And also the passing game, which didn't get used a lot, particularly in the second half, but only 2 incompletions from Trevor Harris in that game. That cannot be ignored when you're talking about the success that Saskatchewan could potentially have here. But the bigger factor for me in picking the Riders here is that the Ottawa Redblacks are no longer the 8-win Ottawa Redblacks that we saw at the start of the season that was an elite squad. They are banged up beyond belief at a number of different positions. We saw the effects of that last week. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen another team where the entire starting linebacking core is on the 6-game injured list, plus key figures all across. Their running game has gotten worse with Reichwell Armstead gone to the other side. And Drew Brown is out with Jeremiah Masoli stepping in. He has been very competent when he's been under center this season, sometimes providing the team with a spark, but I don't think there's enough around him right now, particularly on the defensive side of the ball, to be able to hold off the Riders.
I'm all up on the Riders on this one. I'm fully on the green and white bandwagon. Get me a watermelon helmet. I will put it on. I think that this is going to be
Can we take that picture for social media?
Yeah, why not? I mean, my head kind of looks like a watermelon already. Just a little bit of face paint, and I'm good to go. I think that this is going to be a big win for Saskatchewan for the reasons you laid out, JC. The Redblacks are getting really, really banged up at the worst possible time. That is not good news for them. I am optimistic about their chances of slowing down Reichwell Armstead, at least better than the Stampeders did last week. The Calgary Stampeders are averaging 6.6 yards per carry against. That is 1.2 yards worse than any other team in the CFL. Ottawa is ranked third best against the run, averaging 4.8 yards against. So I am optimistic that they're going to be able to shut down Reichwell Armstead, at least slow him down more so than we saw last week. That being said, the secondary is banged up. The linebacking core is banged up. The defensive line is even banged up, right? Bryce Carter did not play last week. I don't know if he's going to be playing in this game. As we record it, there's no depth chart out yet. So keep in mind that Bryce Carter could be out. I think one of the more underrated pass rushers in this league. But Saskatchewan, I think finally, things are starting to come together for this team. Trevor Harris, again, has played very well over the past month. Very accurate. I love that they've been able to lean on the run game. I think that was their plan this season. Didn't pan out so well with AJ Ouellette. They've got Reichwell Armstead doing that. And then, of course, this is, of course, a revenge game with Reichwell Armstead playing against his former club. I also love the Riders. We talked about the Redblacks getting banged up on the defensive side of the ball. The Riders are getting healthy on the defensive side of the ball. Anthony Lanier is probably going to start this game. He's missed the past 7. He's a very talented run stopper and pass rusher along that defensive line, can play on the inside and the outside. And then Roland Milligan Jr., back with the team at boundary halfback. He's a difference maker, missing last week's game following the birth of his child. So I like the Riders in this one. I don't think it's going to be particularly close. All due respect to Jeremiah Masoli, I'm up with the Riders. Happy to take the points. In fact, I think this could be a double-digit game.